Hello, I'm Andrew Bartnowiak, and today I'm going to be talking about cognitive dissonance theory. Little background on this: the theory was first investigated by Leon Festinger, arising through a participant observation study, and he found three aspects of the cognitive dissonance theory that causes these, and they are forced compliance behavior, decision making, or effort. Back to the theory. Basically, what this theory revolves around is the different mental state of opinions or beliefs between a person and two different beliefs, one that they have and one what turns out to be after an experience, or between a person's belief and then an action. For example, one I can think of is when I was growing up in Detroit, the belief and ideas and views that I had on people in the suburbs, and the way that the people were there, from generalizations and ideas and stories that I had heard growing up in the city compared to when I actually had moved there, and when I actually started to meet and interact and form relationships with people in the suburbs. At the same time, an example of cognitive dissonance theory would be when I would take some of my friends from the suburbs and bring them into the city and hang out with some of my old friends in the city, and seeing their theories and beliefs that they had been taught and believed and told growing up in the suburbs, that it's dangerous in the city, there's such a high crime rate, it's not safe. Everybody who grows up in the city, is a drug dealer, is a criminal, or there's gangs. Everybody who grows up there might be a part of a gang, or if you go there, you're gonna get robbed. And then bringing my friends from the suburbs down and meet, hang out in the city and show them areas where I grew up, and eat at places that I grew up, restaurants I grew up down the street, and while these were in parts of the city that sure had a high crime rate, sure there were gangs, sure there was drug and criminal activity, they realized that it's not true, that just because those certain in particular things happen in that area, that doesn't mean that if you go there you're going to get robbed, or every area is unsafe. And started to realize that, hey, some of the kids that I grew up with in the city, that just because they live in the city, they're just the same as you in the suburbs. They might wear different clothing, they might look a little different, might talk a little different, or have different slangs, or might listen to different music, but have a lot of similarities between each other. And the beliefs that they had heard before experiencing this were two completely different things, and it changes and it challenges what they had previously believed compared to what they had experienced, and it changes their view and their opinions and beliefs after experiencing it firsthand compared to what they had been told and what they had been brought up hearing stories about. Another example of cognitive dissonance theory can be with nicotine tobacco users. Knowing that smoking it can cause cancer and it can kill you, but yet you still go out and you buy a pack of cigarettes. You still go out and feed this habit of nicotine, even though and there's labels and there's commercials that are saying if you continue to do this, you could develop cancer, you might die. The behavior would be when people go and smoke, and the condition, the cognition would be that it causes cancer. Yet they are in a state of cognitive dissonance because they know that it's going to be causing cancer. They know it's harmful to them, yet they still engage and choose to interact with this decision. So that is basically a little overview of the cognitive dissonance theory.